Everybody worries about tomorrow. We have an increasing global population. We're burning through our fossil fuels, releasing tons of CO2 into the atmosphere. Will there be enough food tomorrow? Enough energy? Will our children face challenges we never even dreamed of? And how are we going to solve these problems? Plant oils are a valuable tool in this fight. We can eat them. We can cook with them. We can use them as solvents, surfactants, lubricants, biofuels, bioplastics. In fact, anything you can do with petroleum, you can do with plant oil, which makes sense because petroleum is just really, really old plant oil. And best of all, it's renewable and carbon neutral. Remember third grade science when they told you plants breathe in CO2 and breathe out oxygen? Even if you burn a biofuel and it releases CO2 in the atmosphere, that's where the plant got it to start with. So plant oils are really valuable, but the problem is plants don't want to make a lot of them. They'd rather take that same energy and grow. So they make a little for their own emergency reserves, because you never know what the weather's going to do. And they make a little bit more to put into their seeds so their offspring have energy to grow until they can put out leaves and start photosynthesizing on their own. Which is why most of our plant oils come from seeds. Cottonseed oil, sunflower seed oil, corn oil. But we've all seen corn, right? Ear of corn, corn plant. From a consumer perspective, most of that biomass has no value to us as consumers. Wouldn't it be great if we could find a way to fill the leaves of these oilseed crops with oil as well? And that's what I'm working on. So, how are we going to do this? Well, turns out nature's already solved the problem for us. As any cook can tell you, fat and oil are basically the same thing, so who makes and stores a lot of it? We do. Mammals are the grand champions of fat production. We gestate, we lactate, we migrate, we hibernate, we are warm-blooded, we burn through a lot of energy, which means we make and store a lot of energy. So how are we going to get a mammal solution to work in a plant? Well, turns out that all life on Earth uses the same molecule, DNA, to store its genetic information. And in every case, the same four bases, A, T, G, and C, form the letters of an alphabet. And every word in this language has exactly 3 letters, and every word means the same thing to all life on Earth, which means that any gene from any one organism on Earth will work in any other organism on Earth if you can get it in there and get it to turn on. So, enter mouse fat-specific protein 27. As the name suggests, this occurs in the fat cells of mice. It doesn't tell them how to make fat. It just says that when you make it, let's save some of this up for a little later in case we need it.
On the left, you see a normal leaf, what scientists call a wild-type leaf, because if you picked a random plant out of the wild, this is probably what it would look like. All those red things, those are the chloroplasts that do the photosynthesis. On the right side, you see the inside of a leaf with just this one fat-specific protein added in. All that yellow stuff, that's oil, and you wonder why it's so hard to lose weight.
So, same plant, same land use, same oil, just more of it. More oil to feed and power the world. Unfortunately, some people aren't really comfortable with the notion of using a mammal gene in a plant. They just feel it's unnatural. So we set out to wonder if plants had a gene similar to this, and maybe we could just get that gene to turn on a little bit more. Now, plants don't have fat cells the way animals do. So any gene would have to be pretty distantly related. But we looked and we found something and we thought, well, maybe. It's not really close, but maybe. So let's see what it does. Turns out no one's really looked at this gene before, so we don't really know what it does. But we went ahead and we checked it. Now, biologists are a little like 5-year-olds. If you don't know what something does and you want to know, our solution is break it and see what happens. So we found a plant where we had this gene turned off. And we thought, if in animals it causes you to increase your oil, in plants it would cause a decrease in oil. But when we looked at it, that's not at all what we found.
Again, on the right, you see the normal leaf, and on the left, you see it with just this one gene broken.
And there's a lot more oil. And the thing is, it's not doing what we thought it did. So we're not sure what it's doing. And now I have to spend the next couple years figuring out exactly what it does do. And that's my research.